One of the attractions of for investors here in Singapore is that as of now, right, there is no capital gains tax. Is that likely to change, do you think?
I think Singapore has generally been fairly open to business, and I think there are much bigger levers that Singapore can pull rather than actually bringing in capital gains taxes at this sort of stage. So I think the chances are fairly low.
Okay, it's good to know.
In that perspective as well, because obviously the taxation environment has radically shifted for Singapore, considering the 15% global tax. So considering the knock-on impact that you could have if other companies, big multinationals, choose to leave Singapore's shores to find other jurisdictions that suit them better than being deployed in Singapore, does that impact the Singaporean equities? Because obviously, not just from a lot of people invest in Singaporean equities for the income as opposed to the gain, but if you pull out that flow, what's it going to be left with?
Yes, I think you need to kind of take two steps, right? I mean, I think on the Singapore equities side, a lot of them are domestic companies. The large caps are all domestic companies. They already pay this tax anyway. So what you're kind of looking at is the MNCs, which some of them have a lower effective tax. But I think the reason why some of these companies invest in Singapore is not just on a tax basis, but on a much more broader attractiveness versus the rest of the region. So I think, you might have some marginal shifts in MNCs, but I think just because you move to the 15% tax regime, I don't think you're going to see a major exodus.
Without subsidies, though, without actually taking measures to keep their business would be the point. Because if you have a level playing field and you have a country like Thailand or you have a country like Malaysia that is seeking to draw this investment, doesn't Singapore then have to compete and then perhaps worsen their budget position yet again?
No, I think the competition will increase. But at the same time, I think you also need to take into account the fact that you have some of the most advanced capital markets within the region in Singapore. It's a global financial center. You've got increasing investments in things like greening of the economy, so much more ESG flows. So I think on balance, while you will have increasing competition globally, not just from the region, but also from the US and so on, as well with subsidies and so on, I think Singapore will remain a very good place to do business for a lot of companies.